Hey guys, Aaron Kubetz, personal trainer, functional aesthetics EC. So in today's video, I'm going to demonstrate three-step process to helping to relieve SI joint pain. If you don't know where the SI joint is, it's basically right up here, the back, lower part of your spine here. So it's called the sacroiliac joint. So the sacrum and where the ilium, where the sacrum here, down by your lower part of your spine, and then the ilium on your pelvis joined together. So a lot of times you'll get like this, tension or pain or something go right around that butt area or right in that joint area there. And in fact, I actually had this a couple of weeks ago, and a client of mine was having problems with this, so I made a video for her on how to do this, and then I thought, hey, why don't I put one out here on my YouTube channel, because there's probably other people that could stand to benefit from this protocol. So what we're going to do is we're going to break it down into three different steps. We're going to go with myofascial release, trigger point massage, and loosen up some of those tight areas, and then we're going to do some stretching for some of those tight areas, and then follow it up with some activation exercises for some muscles that are typically weak and can contribute to having that pain happen, especially if you're sitting all day, have an office job where you spend a lot of time driving on the road. Alright guys, so let's get into the video, and I'll see you on the flip side. So you can start out first, roll your quadratus lumborum here, just up above the pelvis. So you'll lean a little bit off to the side, and then move up a little higher. You can roll off slightly offset. Go across the piriformis a little bit. If that's not getting it enough, take the tennis ball, stick that, because basically what's happening is your erector muscle on the side where you're having that pain is too tight. It's going to help loosen up some of that tension. Putting the ball there in the erector muscle, and then also you might even have a little tension in your glutes. So rolling around there. Now after you've done that, to loosen it up, I'll show you in the next video you can do stretch the area out, and then finally some strengthening stuff. And this is not going to fix it in one day, but over time you do this and it will help to alleviate that pain. Okay, so the next thing you want to try is, and this takes very specific, hold on to something if you need to. You got to make sure that you do it in the right sequence, otherwise you're not going to feel it in the proper area. So again, like we said, that erector muscle here in the back. So for me, I was feeling sore on that right side. So after loosening things up by putting that ball there from the erector muscle, and then also just below the iliac crest here on your pelvis, loosen that up. Then the next thing you want to do is you want to rotate your pelvis under. You can already feel that stretching the low back a little bit. And then you want to breathe in and draw your knee up towards your chest. And once you get there, hold it there for 10 seconds or so. And then to increase that stretch, you rotate out and hunch over a little bit farther. You don't want to go too far, because then it tends to take the focus off here and puts it more to your piriformis. But you can try that out. Not to say the piriformis stretch isn't also a good idea as well. Now, what you want to do after you've done that is you want to work on activating your glutes, because the glutes work in opposition to the low back muscles. So if your low back is really tight and strained, you want to loosen that up, and then you want to work the glute muscles to rotate the hips under here. Now, just doing hip bridges, a lot of times people do those improperly. If your lower back starts arching those, or if you're doing leg extensions like that, now you're starting to use your lower back because the glutes weren't taken over. So a good way to get around that is to actually start off with something called a duck stand. So you splay your feet out to the sides, kind of like that duck foot stance, and then you lock your knees out and rotate your hips under when you do that. You can also take the arch, after you get good at doing that, keep your feet facing straight ahead and roll onto the arch, onto the sides of your feet. Squeeze your butt together, lock your knees out, and that'll automatically posteriorly rotate. Hold it for 30 to 60 seconds, do multiple sets, but do it in that sequence. So start out with the foam rolling or the tennis ball and those low back muscles, as well as the inferior portion of that iliac crest on your pelvis, and then also doing that stretch that I showed you, and then follow it up with the glute activation. Do that for a few days, see how that helps. Also do some stretching for your butt, sitting on the ground where you cross your knee over and pull it across. That'll help as well too. Sometimes the muscles that are weak can get irritated from getting pulled out of alignment, stuff from the tight muscles in your lower back. Okay, so the next thing you want to do after you've stretched out that lower back muscle is you want to posteriorly rotate the hips by activating your glutes, because the lower back muscles and the glutes are antagonistic to each other. So if the low back muscles are tight, they're gonna pull you like this. If the glutes are strengthened and tight, they'll actually pull you down this way. So what we want to do is focus on activation. So you can do hip bridges and things like that, but a lot of times people do those wrong and they overuse their lower back. So the simplest way to make sure that you're actually activating your glutes first is to posteriorly rotate your hips like this, or actually starting out in a duck stance. So you're going to splay your feet out to the side here, and then rotate your hips under and lock your knees out, and then stand up straight. And you'll feel your butt muscles squeezing really good there. Now, after you become comfortable with that, you want to keep your feet facing straight ahead, roll your feet to the outside, squeeze your butt muscles together, and that'll help to activate your glutes and take that pressure off your lower back. But always do that in that sequence of stretch the lower back first, or do the foam rolling, trigger point massage with a tennis ball. Do those things first. You can even have somebody push their thumb in there, loosen that up a little bit, then do the stretch, then do the strengthening exercises. Alright guys, thanks for taking the time to watch this video. If you'd like to see more content like this, be sure to hit the subscribe button below, and we'll see y'all next time for more health and fitness related information. Thanks guys for watching. Talk to you later.